all started 100 years ago. On June 17, 1924, an unprecedented event occurred. For the first time, Armenia took part in the 14th International Biennale, a 2-year art exhibition held in Venice.
Armenia was just restoring its statehood. Many of our famous great figures came here, invariably devoting themselves to the cause of the revival of Armenia. And Saryan was one of them. This year marks the 100th anniversary of a very important event, and it is necessary to talk about it. It was crucial in establishing our Armenian statehood.
The year 1924 and the Venice Biennale were of great importance for Armenia and the Armenian people. Saryan represented not only himself as an artist, but also Armenia and Armenian art. In one of his letters, he writes, "It is very important to show that Armenia exists, that there is such high art in Armenia, that it can perform on an equal footing with the high art of European countries."
There are events that should be constantly talked about, should be remembered, because in our Armenian history, there are not many events that elevate our country and present us to the world in a new way, strong, equal to the strong.
Armenia was the only republic of the Soviet Union to receive the right to participate in the Biennale. For the first time, works by Armenian artists were to be displayed at such a prestigious art event.
Russia, which was the only Soviet Union country that was supposed to participate in that exhibition, was not the one to invite him. But Pogos Makinstian, who then was the representative of Armenia in Italy, informed him about the exhibition. He wrote a letter to Saryan. "Don't miss the opportunity to be exhibited in Europe." Well, you should have known Saryan. He was truly an artist who moved our republic forward like a locomotive, and he was able to assure that Armenia must present itself.
The exhibition had an emphasized Armenian aspect, and Saryan's taste and choice were obvious in the selection of artworks.
At the 14th Venice International Biennale, Armenia was represented by the works of 6 Armenian artists: Martiros Saryan, Yekish Tedevosyan, Varges Syrenyons, Panos Telemezyan, Sidrak Rakelyan, and Taragros Tevardanyan, with a total of 20 paintings. Armenia. Portrait of actress Gumashyan. Sunny landscape. Midday silence. Portrait of the poet Yegish Charents. Rug sample. Mount Svaraga from Ksuts Island. Mount Argats.
Of the 578 works presented in the entire Soviet Union pavilion, only 5 paintings were reprinted. Among them was Saryan's painting Yerevan, which, by the way, was bought by the Italian artist and art critic Giuseppe Dalla Villa, and it is still in Venice.
As the master wrote from Venice, Armenia is coming out with its own face with equal forces.
In those years, the famous Armenian poet Venitik Isahakyan lived in Venice. While attending the Biennale, Isahakyan later wrote an article about his admiration and impressions.
Now he wrote his article in Venice and then published in August of 1924 in the daily newspaper Hejrenik, which was being published in Boston. It was interesting because in it he emphasizes that Martiros Saryan is an Armenian artist with the most emphasized national features. The second important article was the article by the famous Italian art critic and gallerist Giuseppe Sprovieri that was published in the Italian newspaper Il Mondo, Ashkar, and a year later It was also translated into Armenian and published in the magazine Nork.
As Saryan wrote from Venice, to create culture, one needs to have land under their feet, not an infinite space.
After 100 years, we are rebuilding the so-called Armenian Wall, which was once a great success. Today, it has a very symbolic character. We have a rich cultural heritage, and today, the presentation of our cultural heritage on international platforms should be a key concern. And presenting our national pavilion at the Venice Biennale, and also in such a non-competitive format, is one of the most important steps in that direction today.
In collaboration with the ACNI project, we are reviving the Armenian exhibition of the 1924 Venice Biennale, breathing new life into the artworks.
It can be said that the landscape painting Armenia by Martiros Saryan has been returned to Venice.
Martiros Saryan's work has been reproduced on ACNI's eye-shaped sculpture and is now exhibited at the ACNI Digital Space, located at Ramo della Tana, 2124A, Venice, Italy.
Art is a lifestyle. There is a strange calmness in my studio. While painting, I feel light, peaceful, harmonious. During the creation process, there is often silence in my head, like a meditative state. But sometimes different thoughts come to my mind. For example, if I didn't paint, what would I become? Or what would I do? Where would I be now? I often analyze my day. What did I do wrong? How would I have been better? What would I change? I also think about the future. Where will I be in the coming years? But I enjoy living and living now, in the moment. I can say that time is my friend. That's why I accepted an offer from one of the most beloved modern projects, ACNI, and with great pleasure depicted on ACN one of my favorite works, Saryan's Armenia. And I can say one thing for sure. Life itself is an art. One just needs to feel and see it.